Hello. Well, as promised, it's time to give a brief review of my new MacBook Pro M2 and a bit of comparison with my Windows experience, which is long. This is a lovely computer. I have to say, the Mac operating system is quite intuitive. It's pretty easy to navigate your way around, find the things that you want. Should start with the obvious, really. The build quality is amazing. It really is beautifully built. It's like it's hewn from a single piece of aluminium, or as you North Americans say, aluminum. The keyboard is beautiful to use. It's very responsive, doesn't flex, feels great under the fingers. Trackpad too. This is a big trackpad. I haven't measured it, but it must be 5.5 inches by 3 inches. Plenty big enough to not keep having to lift your finger and swipe to move your cursor. And really, it had a lot to live up to because I've used Windows for well over 20 years in various incarnations, and my latest Windows laptop is the Microsoft Surface 4. That's also built from aluminium. This one's black, and the build quality's exceptional for a Windows machine. But I'd say these two are on a par. The keyboard's lovely on this one also, and it will be my Windows laptop for the foreseeable future. But as to my experience, well, when I first switched the MacBook on, I was invited to update the operating system, and to my surprise, that took about 1 hour and 5 minutes. It's all the more surprising because I have fibre optic internet, which I usually find quite fast. But then I thought, well, look at the iPhones, look at how long they take to update the iOS. So perhaps that's not so surprising after all. Well, one of the main things I noticed was how quickly it boots up and how long the battery life is. I let it charge fully, and then I put the charger away, and I used it about 1 hour a day for, well, 10 days, and it still wasn't fully discharged. I found that I was able to install iCloud on the Windows laptop. So I saved various documents that I use regularly onto iCloud, and then I opened them on the MacBook. So the Word documents opened in Mac's native software called Pages, which is a fully featured and free word processor. And the spreadsheets opened in the native spreadsheet software, which is called Numbers. Now, when it came to saving them, I found that with Word, I had to export it from MacBook to the iCloud, and choosing a Word document is one of the options. Then I can go back to my Windows laptop and open the exported Word document, and it opens in Word quite seamlessly. So it allows me to use both devices. One thing I did notice was that on the keyboard for the Microsoft laptop, you have a backspace, which allows you to delete characters to the left of the cursor. There's no such key on the MacBook. If you press the delete button, it deletes characters to the left of the cursor. If you want to delete characters to the right of the cursor, you have to press Function and delete. Seems a little strange to me, but But there we are, it's something I can live with. Something else I've used over the years is voice control software. I used to use Dragon Naturally Speaking, but it's really clunky. I've tried using the software that comes with Windows, but it's poor. Recognition's appalling, and it's not to do with my speech patterns, I hope. But as soon as I tried the same thing on the MacBook, using its own native speech control app, perfect. I'm getting 95+% recognition of words, and not only can you dictate directly into a Word document, but you can use that voice software to control the laptop. I do a lot of photography. It's one of my hobbies, and I import photos from my Sony cameras to Adobe Photoshop Elements on the Microsoft Surface laptop. So I was curious to see how I could integrate the MacBook. When I import the photos to the Microsoft Surface in Windows, I add tags, and there is a command in Photoshop Elements that allows you to write those tags to the JPEG itself. So I do that. I don't keep my photos in folders by subject matter, I keep them in folders by date taken, so I'd never find them again without tags. I copied a couple of photos, complete with tags, to a thumb drive, plugged it into the MacBook, and hey presto, yes, I opened the Photos app, there were the photos, and there were the tags attached. So far so good. The next thing I did was to add another tag using the Photos app on the Mac, saved it to the thumb drive. When I opened that photo back up in the Windows laptop, the new tag didn't show. So a little bit of research online and some figuring out, I discovered that if you add a tag in the Photos app on Mac, it doesn't save to the JPEG, it's not embedded, unless you choose Export. So I exported the photo with its new tag, and hey presto, the tag shows up on Windows. So I'm happy with that. I'll have to see if I can use the Photos app for some minor editing. All I do is tweak. I'll level the horizon line, I might lighten or darken an image if it's under or overexposed. Additionally, I take a fair bit of video, so I'll see how creating movies from the raw video works, and that'll have to be the subject of a later video here. So, all things considered, I'm very happy with this purchase, and I think I can use it fairly seamlessly alongside my Microsoft Surface with Windows. And it allows me to learn the Mac operating system, which is something I'm going to have to do because I've bought MacBook Airs for both my young daughters, and they're going to go wild when they find out.